guys, it's Brittany, and today I'm going to do a bookshelf tour. Now, this is going to be very awkwardly positioned because I took everything off the top of my bookshelf so I can hold it up and show you what it is, because my camera's at an awkward angle and my bookshelf is at an awkward angle. So, this is my teeny tiny bookshelf. This is my first shelf, my second shelf. This is the bottom shelf. You can't see it, so I'm just going to hold up everything individually. Alright, so first I'm going to start with what's on top of my bookshelf. So I have my iHome color changing speaker that I won at bingo, with my Maleficent ears on top that I got in Disney World over spring break. And yes, it is 4:01 a.m. It's very exciting. Alright, so first what was on top of my bookshelf was this little ceramic teapot that I think is adorable, that I got from my ceramics class. Someone abandoned this cute little guy, so I kind of took him home. Gave him somewhere to go. With my tea set, I have my Dalek pop vinyl, which is from Doctor Who, for those of you who don't know. And if you don't know, now I'm very sad. I have two TARDIS pop vinyl keychains. This one is a whole TARDIS, and then there's a materializing TARDIS, and yes, it is necessary to have both. I have my little Amelia Pond, I don't know if you'd say that, little like Lego minifigure. I got it in Hot Topic. It came in like a little pack and you didn't know what was in it. You open it, it's like, woo! So she actually has the little tally marks on her face from when the Silents were attacking. So I think that's pretty cool. Next I have my Belle pop vinyl. Oh, sorry. Belle is my favorite Disney princess and I wish to be her in every aspect of life. We look just alike, can't you tell? Next I have another Belle related item. It's my little Belle cup that I also got in Disney. It came with hot chocolate in it and it was like 80 degrees, but I really wanted the cup, so I suffered through the hot chocolate. Then I have my little bookmark collection. I have a little Eeyore Zoom. I don't know how to pronounce it, those like Disney little plushy things, but he's adorable and he can't sleep in my bed because I'm scared he'll get lost, so he hangs out on my bookshelf. And then I have the main focal point of my bookshelf, which is my iHeart Books bag that I actually won from a BookCon giveaway on Instagram, so I was really excited about it. So that's usually up in the middle, but like I said, awkward positioning and whatnot. So we're going to start with the actual books. Here I have my box set of the Hunger Games trilogy. Fun fact, I have a class this semester where the Hunger Games is actually a required textbook. How lucky am I? Next I have my Twilight trilogy and my Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, which is a little, why can't I think of the word? It's like a spin-off. I have The Bane Chronicles, Clockwork Prince, City of Bones, City of Ash, and City of Glass. Yes, I don't own all of the Infernal Devices or the Mortal Instruments series, but I have read them all and I love them all. Maybe I'll do a review one day, but we're not there yet. Next I have Hush Hush, Crescendo, and Silence, which is all by Becca Fitzpatrick. It's a series about fallen angels, and I'm obsessed with it, and I love it. And again, I've read the whole thing. I have the last book on my Kindle. Then we have Matched and Crossed by Ali Condé. I have not read the last book in the series because I kind of lost interest with the second book, I'll be completely honest. After those, we have my Kindle, which one day I will do a Kindle tour. I'm just not sure it's fully charged right now. It's got a cute little button on it. It says future author. I love it. Down here we have Fallen and Torment by Lauren Kate. I've read the whole series. I don't own it. Most of it is on my Kindle. Again, Fallen Angels. Actually like that better than Hush Hush, I think. I don't know. That's a tough pick. They're so similar. It's hard to pick which one's better. I have Bloodlines, Golden Lily, Vampire Academy Frostbite, Shadow Kiss, Blood Promise, Vampire Academy Ultimate Guide, and then 2 of the Vampire Academy graphic novels, which are all by Rochelle Mead. I've read all of Vampire Academy. No, I don't own all of the series. Again, this is a common theme in my life. I'll get books and then lend them out to people, and then they magically disappear, and I never get them back. The Bloodline series, which is after the Vampire Academy series, I actually haven't read it all. Again, I started it and then got bored. Maybe one day I'll pick it up. I do have some of the other books. I just haven't read it yet. So we'll just see what happens later on in life. Next, I have my 3 favorite books in the whole universe. That's an interesting word. It's kind of a funny story by Ned Vizzini. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly at all. Looking for Alaska by John Green, which is the only John Green book that I actually like. Ooh, don't kill me. And Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. This author's last name thing's gonna trip me up a lot, isn't it? The Maze Runner by, why can't I remember his first name? Dashner? James Dashner? Yes? No? Maybe so? Again, read the whole series. The rest of it's on my Kindle. It's common. I need to buy more physical copies of books is what I'm learning. The Fifth Wave, which I actually haven't finished. I started it, and then school happened, and then I got new books, and I started reading them, and this one's been in a forgotten place on my bookshelf. I'm sorry. Divergent, which I've read the entire thing, and the book 4, I believe it's just called. I've read it. They're on my Kindle. I heart it so much. The movie, not so much. Linger, which is actually the second book in the Mercy Falls trilogy by Maggie Stiefvater, who will actually be at BookCon this year, which I hope I'm there. But I lost the first one. I don't know what happened, if I lent it to someone or it just went missing. I did have dogs, and they like to eat my books. They were their favorite snack. So I don't really know what happened to it, but I have read all of those. I love them. Actually, I'm going to pull this off the shelf because I like it. So the cover of the book's green, and the font in the book is green, which I don't know if you can see that from here. But in the first book, the cover is blue, and the font's blue, and the last one it's red, and the font's red. And I just thought that was a cool little thing about the books. Next, I have Every Day by David Leviathan, which I actually didn't read. I was supposed to read it for book club, and then I didn't. And don't tell anyone, because I was the president of book club, so that's actually really bad of me. But I do have it. I will read it one day, hopefully. Next is Nightshade by Andrea Kramer. I read it a very long time ago. I don't remember what it's about, but I'm obsessed with the cover. Again, I'll take it off and show you. It's got the wolf face and the girl face. Because usually I don't like covers that have human faces on it, but I really like the effect of this. So I'm actually slightly obsessed, and I want to read the rest of the series. I just haven't gotten around to buying it yet, and hopefully I can do that sometime soon. But yes, I have Teardrop by Lauren Kate, which again, I haven't read yet. I want to read it. This is my life story as I get books and then I haven't read them. Next I have Vivian in Red, which I have no clue what it's about, but it came in my little bag that I got from BookCon. And it's an advanced reading copy, not for... I don't know what that means. It's on the book. I meant to look it up. I really don't know what it means. But it looks cool. I like it. And then I have... I don't know if I can get this off the bookshelf, because it's a hardback and it's jammed in there. Green Island by Shwana Yang Ryan, which I probably just butchered. Again, came in the BookCon box. Don't know much about it. But it lives on my bookshelf. And then I have The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd, which I'm sure it's a movie. It's really good. I never finished the book. I started it, but I have seen the movie, and I think the movie's pretty good, but my opinion might change after I finish the book. So I'll get back to you on that. Next I have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, which is on my bottom shelf, which is why I'm holding it up, because you can't see it. I have not read this book. Okay, I sat in the bookstore and read like the first 3 chapters, but I haven't finished it. My boyfriend got it for me for Christmas because he knows my weak spot. So, Fangirl, which I can't wait to read because I absolutely adore Eleanor Park, and I'm hoping this will be up to the same caliber, and I'm really excited. Next I have The Lightning Thief, Percy Jackson. I read this one, Sea of Monsters, and I think the third one, but I never finished it. Again, school happened. This was like 5th grade, and I don't know what happened. Never finished it. Maybe I'll go back, reread, finish it after I saw the movies. It kind of dismayed me a little bit, but we'll see. Next I have The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. My sister gave me this. It was her book. She liked it. I actually never read it. Apparently it's about like the history of Vlad the Impaler, and it's supposed to be like historical fiction and cool. So I don't know, but hopefully one day I'll read it and find out. It doesn't really seem like my type of thing, but it might be, and I just haven't given it a fair shot. Next we have Pretty Little Liars, which again I haven't read, but they had it at a used book sale. I picked it up just to have for something if I really needed like something to read or I got bored. It would be a book. It's here. But I've heard a lot about the TV show, and that kind of like turned me off of it because it seems really long and drawn out and confusing, and I don't like book series like that, so I'm hoping that that's just the TV aspect and the books aren't actually like that. But I guess I'll find out eventually. Next I actually have How to Read Literature Like a Professor, which I don't know why it's on this bookshelf, because this is a book that I had to read senior year in my British literature class, or my modern literature, one or the other. And I don't know why it's on this bookshelf, but you know, it's got some helpful tips in there. We had to read it in class. So, yay. Next I have The Nobodies by Annie Bode, which in 4th grade we had to read Anybody's in class. And my teacher actually got Annie Bode to come and speak to us. And so, my book is autographed. It says, Brittany, keep reading, Annie Bode, which isn't that fancy, but I'm obsessed with it, and I love autographed books. The next one is The Tale of Despereaux, which again, we got to meet the author, and this book is autographed, but it just says for Brittany, and it has his signature, which again isn't that cool, but I love it, and I like the fact that I have autographed books. I have Flip by David Lubar, again, is autographed. My 4th grade teacher was obsessed with reading. She went to book signings all the time, got them to come to the local library, and we would all go. What I like about this is he said to Brittany, flip over it, David Lubar, but if you flip it, it still spells flip, regardless of how you flip it, which I think is pretty awesome. Next I have Books for Nostalgic Purposes, which is just a couple Junie B. Jones books that I stole off from my cousin, because Junie B. Jones was my absolute favorite when I was little, and I just like having the nostalgia factor on my bookshelf. Next we have The Hellfire Club by Peter Straub. I've actually, again, never read this, got it from used book sale because I thought it would be cool to read. And a little vampire thing going on. I don't know if you noticed, but Twilight Vampire Academy, it's kind of my thing for a while. So I picked it up, but I've never actually read it. Again, hope to get to it eventually. I have The Lord of the Flies, which is a very old used copy. Smells very nice. Very, very bookish. I like it. I like it a lot. Read this book in school, and I wanted it. It was actually the 5th grade. I went to visit my cousin, and I was talking about it because we had watched a video about it in class. And she said, oh, let's go to this bookstore around the corner of my house. And she got me this book, and I read it, and then we read it in school. And it was really good, and I love it, and I cried because Piggy! But yes, that is The Lord of the Flies. Next I have Fallen Angels, Walter Dean Meyer, which is about war and soldiers and stuff. It was a summer reading book that I never actually read, but I skimmed it to get the synopsis. War books aren't really my thing unless it's World War II, because I'm a World War II junkie and I like the Holocaust. Not that I think it was good, I just like reading about it and I feel like a total weirdo. I have A Midsummer's Night Dream by William Shakespeare, which was passed on to me. I'm an English major, so it's expected that I'm supposed to like Shakespeare. I actually kind of hate Shakespeare. So goodbye. Again, I have The Tempest, which is by William Shakespeare. I have the Shakespeare class this semester, all about Shakespeare. So maybe these books will come in handy. I have Flipped by Wendelin Van Draanen. Never read it. I got it from one of those like Scholastic book fairs that we had at school. My mom thought it would be good for me, so she picked it up, and I've never read it. But I guess it was a movie because there's pictures in here. I don't know. I liked when books did that for some odd reason. But this is Flipped. I have 10 Things We Did and Probably Shouldn't Have by Sarah Milankowski, which I probably just butchered that name. I adored this book. I read this going into high school. It was absolutely fantastic, and I highly recommend it to anyone. I've lent it out to like 4 people, and they read it and absolutely loved it. And this book is just fantastic, and I highly recommend it. Next, I have Heart of Darkness and the Secret Sharer by Joseph Conrad, another summer reading book, mandatory for class. I never actually read it. Don't know why I had to buy it, but I did, so it's on my bookshelf. Now I have Instinct, which is actually the 6th book in the Chronicles of Nick. My boyfriend grabbed this for me at the bookstore. He thought I'd like it and then didn't realize it was the 6th book in a series. So hopefully I'll read the first 5 books and then actually be able to read this. I'm hoping, because I adore him for buying me a book. It's just he didn't realize, which is okay. I've made this mistake plenty of times. I bought most of the Vampire Diaries series. I had thought, because the books are in like weird orders if you've seen the Vampire Diaries series. And then I actually was completely out of order and couldn't read any of them. So I donated them to a book drive we had at school for National English Honor Society. And I said goodbye to the copies that I couldn't read. And lastly, I have... Is that lastly? Yes. Lastly, I have Dark Secret, Legacy of Lies by Elizabeth Chandler, which I've never read. Got it from a used bookstore, and I just haven't gotten around to reading it. Right now, what's not on my bookshelf, but I'm going to hold my hands like it is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, which I'm currently reading and really excited about, and I absolutely love it. Now, I've obviously read more books than are on my dinky little bookshelf, but I either got them from a library, borrowed them from a friend, they're on my Kindle, or I just lent them out. I'm all about lending out my books, giving them. I know my boyfriend's mom and I have similar tastes. All my Nicholas Sparks books went to her. My copy of The Best of Me went to her, which is another Nicholas Sparks. I don't know why I singled it out. Oh, Me Before You went to her. So, I had other books, and they just got passed on, and that's why they're not on my bookshelf. But this was my bookshelf tour. I hope you enjoy, and see you guys later.